Hello YouTube. Welcome back to another watch video. Today is the 4th of July. And so I wish a happy 4th of July to all of my viewers in America. As you can see, I have a GMT watch here that has a Pepsi bezel. And so effectively I have red, white, and blue. All right. And the purpose of this video is to show you how to use a GMT watch, such as this one in my hand. A few details about this watch first. Now, if you've been following my channel, a while back, actually over a year ago, I acquired this watch as a trade on the Watch Gang forum on Facebook, actually. And so I had acquired the original watch that I traded for this watch by my Watch Gang subscription, which I was using at the time. And so this is a J bracket Greenwich, and this watch again is a GMT watch, hence the name Greenwich. And it is a Swiss quartz movement, as you can see on the dial printed. It does say Swiss quartz, 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and then GMT, again indicating the GMT function. And a couple more things about this watch. So it is 44 millimeters in diameter. It has a mineral crystal protecting the dial and display. It is on a genuine leather strap, and as indicated by Swiss quartz, it actually has a Swiss Ronda GMT movement. The specific movement is the 515.24H. That's the name of the movement. And the MSRP on the website for J bracket is $305. I will tell you, I don't think anybody pays $305 for this watch. If you go on eBay and try to purchase it in like new condition, you can acquire it for somewhere between $100 to $200, just depending on the exact quality and the color that it comes in, because it does come in many colors, the different dial colors, which include white, although I will say it is more of a silvery color rather than white, and then it also comes in blue and black, and then the bezel comes in black, and also this Pepsi bezel, or all blue, and those are the different options. Okay, so now a little bit more about GMT. What does that mean, and why would somebody want to buy and wear a GMT watch? So GMT stands for Greenwich Mean Time, and specifically that is the time that everyone in the world recognizes as a time that you can compare other time zones to. So Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, is actually named after Greenwich, London. And so ultimately it was designated that Greenwich, or London in other words, would be the time zone that other time zones are compared to. So for example, in Chicago, you would say that the time zone is GMT -6, or 6 hours behind GMT. And that gives you a way to compare the time in Chicago as compared to the time in London, United Kingdom. So a couple reasons why you would want to wear a GMT watch, for example, if you're a pilot. In fact, it is thought that the GMT function was developed for pilots, actually, to be able to travel between different time zones and to be able to keep track of time, not only in their home time zone where they are from, but also in their destination time zone, wherever they're spending a period of time. Of course, if you're a traveler, it also applies to you as well. Even if you're not flying the plane, but you're a traveler, it makes sense that you could use this watch to keep track of time without having to change the original time from your home time zone or your home city. And if you may also think or extrapolate a little bit, if you have extended family or if your loved one is in a different time zone, you could use this watch to keep track of what time it is where your loved one is. Especially if you're trying to call them or text them or keep in touch, it makes sense that you'd want to be able to tell what time zone they're in so that you don't bother them at the wrong time. So let's talk a little bit about how to use this watch, because it may not be intuitive just looking at it. So for example, let us set the time, and let's say that in Chicago it is 4 p.m. So as you can see, we set the minutes hand to the 12 position and the hours hand to 4 o'clock. And so this is, in other words, 4 p.m. All right, and then the next thing you would do is on this bezel, as you can see, it is numbered, but it is not numbered 1 for 1 o'clock, 2 for 2 o'clock, but rather it is numbered such that 24 hours fits across or all along the different times of the day. So as you can see, 2, 4, 6, all the way through some of the PM times like 14, which indicates, of course, 2 p.m., 22, which indicates 10 p.m., and then it goes up to, again, midnight. So if it's 4 p.m. and you wanted to make 4 p.m. in military time, 4 p.m. would be 1600. So what you would do is you would set the GMT hand and set it to 1600. There we go. Now that that is set, you can finally set a second time zone. So again, both the regular hands, the minutes hand and the hours hand, indicate 4 o'clock. The GMT hand indicates 1600, so these are both in agreement in terms of the home time zone being 4 p.m., and which we are designating, just as an example, to be Chicago time. Now let's say we want to know what is the time in New York. New York is 1 hour ahead, or 1 time zone ahead of Chicago, and so you would want to make the 1 here, because it's 1, 2, 3, as you can see, although it's designated by a dot, you'd make the 1 want to appear at the 12 o'clock position. So you would rotate the bezel counterclockwise, and that is ultimately setting the time forward. So you would rotate the bezel counterclockwise to gain time, or the opposite is true. If you rotate it clockwise, then you lose time. So now we could say that we're now 1 hour ahead because we're setting it to New York time as compared to Chicago. And as you can see, the GMT hand is now pointed instead of to 1600 to 1700, or in other words, 5 p.m. So now we can keep track of our current time zone and the time zone ahead of us. In Chicago, if it is 4 p.m., in New York, it is 5 p.m. Now let's go a little bit further and let's say, well, let's compare it to, just as an example, London. What time is it in London if it is 4 p.m. in Chicago? Well, London is 6 hours ahead of Chicago time zone, simply because it's GMT minus 6 for Chicago, so we add 6 to get to GMT, or in other words, London time. So again, 6 o'clock, or 6 hours ahead, so we want to set the 6 to the 12 o'clock position. And so as you can see now, at the 6 o'clock position being set there, the GMT hand is pointed to 22 or 2200. In other words, when it is 4 p.m. in Chicago, it is 10 p.m. or 2200 in London. And there you have it, guys. So ultimately, this video shows you guys how to use a GMT watch. Again, as you're traveling or just simply trying to keep track of time, especially if you have a loved one in another city, that's how you set your watch. And because it's a GMT hand, even though obviously not enough time has passed to show movement of this hand will move as time passes to help to keep track of the time. So in an hour, it will be 2300 in London because it will be 5 p.m. in Chicago. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video and it was informational to you. I tried to do my best to explain it, but if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. GMT functions of a watch may not be that simple or may not be that easy to use, and so that's why I wanted to create this video to help all my viewers to use their GMT watches. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and absolutely, as you know, I really want you guys to subscribe. It motivates me and encourages me to make more videos for all my subscribers and anybody who wants to see a video about watches. All right, guys, until the next video, adios and stay safe out there. Happy 4th of July, everybody.